See here, we saw for example on super key. Means we studied how to find the number of super keys in a relational schema R with a given set of attributes and a given set of candidate keys. In the last four examples, in detail, understood? Now we solved each example using two methods. First, set theory method and second, prime attribute method. Now you will have a doubt that why we are solving each question using two method. What is advantage of set theory method? What is advantage of prime attribute method? Which method is better? Which method we should use and which method we should not use? Why we are studying two methods for solving these problems of finding number of super keys. Now we will see here. What is difference between set theory method and prime attribute method. When we will use set theory method and when we will use prime attribute method, means when it is better to use set theory method and when it is better to use prime attribute method, or what is the advantages and disadvantages of these two methods. We will see here. We will see one by one. See, first listen carefully. First, if number of super key increases, the first method is complicated. Means if the number of super key increases, if the number of super key increases, first method is complicated. Understood? Means graph theory method is complicated. Graph theory no, set theory method is complicated. Means if the number of super keys increases, set theory method is complicated. Understood? Now see second, if three candidate key is given to find super key, the first method is better. Means if three candidate is given to find the number of super key, first method is better. First method means set theory method is better. If three candidate keys are given, means we require three set. Three candidate keys are given means we require three set. Each set for each candidate key. Each set represents the number of super keys. Over first set will represent number of super keys over first candidate key. Second set will represent number of super keys over second candidate key, and third set which will represent number of super keys over third candidate key. So the number of super keys will be equal to the number of sets. So if three candidate keys are given, to find the number of super keys, the first method is better. Means set theory is better. Why? Because if maximum three set candidate keys are given, then we require maximum three sets. Then we will require maximum three sets. So to solving a problem using three set is easy in compared to more than three set. If more than three candidate keys are given, then we require more than three sets. To solve more than three sets problem is complicated. That is the reason if three candidate keys are given, to find the number of super keys, then the set theory method is better, means first method is better. Understood? And now see, if more than 3 candidate key is given to find the super key, then go for the second method. Then it is saying that if more than 3 candidate keys are given, it means that if more than 3 candidate keys are given, we require more than 3 sets. We require more than 3 sets. Then to solve a problem using more than 3 sets is complicated. That is the reason it is saying that if more than 3 candidate keys are given, to find the super keys, to find the number of super keys, go for the second method, that is the prime attribute method. Don't follow set theory methods. Understood? Now see fourth point. The fourth point saying that the advantage of second method is it is only depends on prime attributes. See here, it is saying that the second method means the prime attribute methods. The advantage of prime attribute method is it depends on prime attributes only. It depends on prime attributes. Why it depends? It is dependent on prime attributes. As we studied earlier, the formula for number of super keys in the relational schema are for prime attribute method is number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation R and 2 to the power number of non-prime attributes of the relation R. In this formula, the main portion is to find the number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation R is the main part of the formula. It is the time taking part of the formula. It is the main part of the formula. So the advantage of prime attribute method is it depends only on the prime attributes of the relation. So it is the advantage of the prime attribute of method, means in this method we have to find the number of super keys only among the prime attributes of the relation. Among the prime attributes of the relation. So it is advantage of this method to that we need that it is dependent on only the prime attributes of the relation. Understood? And the disadvantage of second method is if prime attributes are more, then it is very complicated to find all super keys among the prime attributes. And the disadvantage of prime attribute method is if the number of prime attributes increases. If the number of prime attributes increases means if the number of prime attributes are more, then finding the number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation is complicated, is not easy. So this is the disadvantage of the prime attribute method, and the advantage of the prime attribute method is it only depends on prime attributes of the relation. Understood? Now see here. See here, if less prime attributes, more candidate keys, second method is better. It is saying that if less prime attributes means if the prime attributes are less. What is the meaning of prime attributes are less? If the prime attributes are less, then to find the number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation R is easy, is simple, is not complicated. So if the number of prime attributes are less and the number of candidate keys are more, what is the meaning of candidate keys are more here? If the number of candidate candidate keys are more means if we are using set theory method, the number of sets will be more, and if the number of sets will be more, it is difficult, it is complicated to solve it using set theory method. So if the number of prime attributes are more, it is easy to use prime attribute method, and candidate keys are more, it means it is difficult, it is complicated to use set theory method. So if the number of prime attributes are less and the number of candidate keys are more, then it is better to go with the second method, that is the prime attribute method. Prime attribute method is better. Why prime attribute is method is better and set theory method is not better? Set theory method is not better because number of candidate keys are more, that is the number of sets are more. So to solve a problem using set theory method in which the number of sets are more is complicated, but the number of prime attributes are less, so finding the number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation R is easy. So prime attribute method is better for this type of problems. Now see if more prime attributes, less candidate keys. If more prime attributes, less candidate keys, first method is better. First method is better. If more prime attributes, less candidate keys, first method is better. It is saying that if the number of prime attributes are more, that is if the number of prime attributes are more, then to find the number of super keys among prime attributes of the relation R is complicated, that is prime attribute method is complex or complicated, and if number of candidate keys are less, then the number of sets will be less, then it is easy to go with the set theory method. So that is the reason if more prime attributes, less candidate keys, first method is better, that is if number of prime attributes are more and the number of candidate keys are less, go with the set theory method. Understood? If less candidate keys and less prime attributes, anything can follow. Understood? If the candidate keys are less and prime attributes are also less, means if candidate keys are less, means if we are using set theory method, if candidate keys are less, means number of sets will also be less, then set theory method is easy. And if prime attributes are also less, means to find the super keys among prime attributes of the relation R is easy, is not complicated, then prime attribute method is also better, is also easy, is also not complicated. So if number of candidate keys are less or number of prime attributes are less, both are less, then we can follow either set theory method or prime attributes method. Understood? And in this example, if number of super keys increases, the first method is complicated. It is saying that when the number of super key will increase, see here, when the number of super keys will increase, when either number of candidate key increases or number of prime attributes increases, means if the number of candidate keys increases, means number of super keys will also increase, then the first method is complicated. Why it is complicated? Because if the number of candidate keys increases, the number of set will also increase, and number of set will increase. It is complex. It is complicated to find the number of super keys using set theory method. Understood? Okay. Thank you.